There's an invisible energy surrounding every human being, a subtle field that follows you wherever you go. And no, you don't need any special gifts to feel it. This energy is with you right now, radiating beyond the limits of your physical body, quietly carrying the deepest information about your thoughts, emotions, and the state of your being. What ancient traditions called auras, modern science is beginning to recognize as bioelectromagnetic fields, a measurable reality that escapes common perception but pulses in every moment of your existence. But imagine this. Our ancestors navigated vast, starry skies, followed trails and tracks invisible to most, and sensed impending weather changes, all without a single technological device. Have we really evolved? Or have we, in the name of comfort, traded our natural perceptive abilities for bright screens and artificial stimuli that pull us away from the essence of life? The evidence is clear and intriguing. We surrendered the sacred right to perceive the world in its fullness, selling our innate sensitivity for a universe reduced to pixels and electronic sounds. At the center of this mysterious ability is the pineal gland, a tiny structure the size of a grain of rice, nestled deep in the heart of your brain. Most people know this gland only as the sleep regulator because it produces melatonin. But what conventional science rarely reveals is that this small jewel contains photoreceptor cells, almost identical to those in your retina. Yes, a deep, hidden organ designed to detect light. But why would nature do that? Why would such a hidden organ need to detect light? Here lies one of the greatest mysteries of our body, a clue that the pineal holds secrets far beyond what we imagine, perhaps a gateway to dimensions of perception we have yet to learn to access. And if you're thinking, if these energy fields are real, why can't everyone see them? Get ready for an answer that might shake your certainties. We all have this ability. It's dormant inside our biology, rooted in the pineal gland. It's not a rare gift, but a natural potential, suppressed and forgotten. What blocks this perception? Modern life itself, with its artificial lights that never turn off, the invisible electromagnetic pollution surrounding us constantly, and even exposure to chemicals like fluoride that calcify and weaken the pineal. Added to this is a rigid educational system that teaches us to trust only 5 physical senses and dismisses any experience beyond them as imagination or fantasy. A true shielding against the perception of the subtle, closing our eyes to an invisible yet tangible universe that pulses all around us. This is the perceptual blindness of the modern era, a veil that separates us from the deep essence of being and a real connection with the world. But what if we told you that this barrier can be broken? That with dedication and practice, it's possible to reactivate this forgotten gland and awaken the natural sensitivity that has always been ours. The invitation is out there. The question remains, are you ready to reclaim this hidden vision and rediscover the invisible universe living inside and all around you? The science investigating human energy fields has grown so much that today it's impossible to ignore. Your brain is constantly generating electrical signals that can be detected by devices called EEGs. Your heart, with every beat, emits an electromagnetic field so powerful that advanced sensors can detect it several feet away. And it doesn't stop there. Even your muscles produce electromagnetic waves when they contract, creating an invisible field that extends far beyond your skin, what researchers call your bioelectric field. These phenomena are measured and studied every day, but the big question remains, can you train your senses to perceive these energies directly, without devices? The human body constantly emits biophotons, tiny real particles of light. These emissions, though extremely subtle and almost imperceptible, offer a fascinating clue about our vital energy. Scientific studies reveal that these photons are linked to metabolic processes, the internal functioning of our cells, and the body's energetic balance. And more surprisingly, they don't scatter randomly but follow coherent patterns. A landmark study published in 2005 in the Journal of Biomedical Optics showed that the emission of these photons changes before and after meditation, proving that our internal state directly influences the energy we radiate. Dr. Konstantin Kuratkov took this investigation to another level by creating a technique called gas discharge visualization. How does it work? He applies a high voltage to the fingertips, causing gas molecules around them to emit photons captured by specialized cameras. Software then analyzes these light patterns to assess the body's energetic state, something that until recently was relegated to the realm of mysticism. With over 1,000 scientific articles published on this technique, the academic community has finally begun to recognize what ancient cultures intuitively knew: we humans generate measurable energy fields that reflect our internal state, physical, emotional, and mental. But maybe you're asking yourself, how can I, an ordinary person, perceive this without complex devices? The answer lies in recalibrating your perception, going beyond what your physical eyes can see. At the center of this ability is the pineal gland, that tiny organ many refer to as the third eye. With practice, dedication, and awareness, anyone can develop a sensitivity to these invisible fields, tuning into electromagnetic frequencies beyond the visible light spectrum. This perception doesn't rely on traditional sight. It manifests as a subtle intuition, an inner sensitivity that registers the unseen, the true language of energy. And if you're curious to explore these hidden dimensions of human perception, know this: you're not alone. The ancient Celts symbolized these energy fields in their rituals and sacred artwork. Traditional Chinese medicine built an entire healing system around the flow of Qi through the body's meridians. In India, the Ayurvedic tradition speaks of prana, the vital force that sustains life, and indigenous shamans across the world cultivated techniques to sense these subtle energies, preserving an ancient wisdom that modern science is only now beginning to validate. Different cultures across the globe, separated by oceans, mountains, and centuries of history, each developed their own language to describe the same phenomenon: energy fields that surround and transcend the physical form. And here's something truly fascinating. Despite having no contact with one another, these traditions share strikingly similar descriptions of human energy. How could societies so far apart come to such aligned understandings unless they were perceiving something objectively real? This cross-cultural consistency points to a profound truth: that these ancient traditions tapped into universal aspects of human perception, revealing realities that go far beyond cultural constructs or collective imagination. And it doesn't stop there. The colors associated with these energy fields carry meanings that remain consistent across time and geography. Red pulses with energy, passion, and vitality. Orange vibrates with creativity and confidence. Yellow radiates intellectual activity and optimism. Green heals and restores balance. Blue inspires communication and serenity. Purple and indigo elevate intuition and spiritual awareness. White connects to pure spirituality, the frequency of higher energy. How can we explain such uniformity? These associations don't seem random. They appear to reflect real patterns, a universal code etched into the very essence of human perception. Dr. Valerie Hunt, from the Department of Physiology at UCLA, dove into this realm with groundbreaking research. Using an electromyograph to measure energetic variations on the skin in areas traditionally associated with the chakras, she studied individuals with heightened sensitivity to subtle energies. What she discovered was astonishing. high-frequency oscillations, ranging from 100 to 600 Hz, aligning remarkably well with what these sensitives described seeing. This correlation between scientific data and subjective reports suggests something powerful. The perception of energy isn't illusion, it has an objective basis. Another curious point, children in general seem to show greater sensitivity to these energy fields than adults. Many adults who can still perceive subtle energy report having had this ability since childhood, only to suppress it over time, often after being met with disbelief, rejection, or even ridicule. This phenomenon reveals a shocking truth. The ability to perceive energy may be natural to us, but lost, silenced, or conditioned out of us by social systems and educational models that only validate the 5 physical senses, labeling anything else as imagination or fantasy. Sometimes I find myself laughing at the irony. We accept without question that dogs hear sounds we can't, that bees see ultraviolet light invisible to the human eye. And yet, we hesitate to believe that some humans might develop sensitivity to electromagnetic frequencies that others simply don't pick up. The electromagnetic spectrum, after all, stretches far beyond what our ordinary senses can detect. Energy perception might be nothing more than enhanced sensitivity to parts of this invisible spectrum. Not something supernatural, but a natural extension of human perception. Now, someone might argue you're confusing distinct phenomena, measurable electromagnetic fields confirmed by science and the subjective experience of seeing auras. A fair point, but think about it with me. All sensory experience is a construction of consciousness. You don't see light directly. Your brain assembles the visual image from photons striking your retina. You don't literally hear sound waves. Your brain interprets shifts in air pressure and translates them into the sounds you recognize. So what exactly are you perceiving? What if this sensitivity to energy is simply another level of human consciousness? A state of expanded perception that anyone can access with the right dedication and intention. Why couldn't your brain construct a visual-like experience from variations in electromagnetic fields picked up through channels beyond your physical eyes? Think about it. If ordinary vision is just an interpretation of signals, then perhaps energy perception, often described as visual in nature, doesn't depend on the eyes you know, but on an inner vision, a more subtle way of seeing that transcends the physical world. If these ideas have sparked your curiosity, I invite you to leave a comment and share your own experiences with energy sensitivity. After all, every story reveals a little more of this invisible world that surrounds us. Today, modern science is finally beginning to catch up to what ancient traditions have always known. We humans generate and interact with energy fields, and some people have the ability to perceive these fields directly. This perception doesn't require supernatural gifts, only practice, dedication, and a genuine desire to awaken sensory abilities that have been dulled by the fast pace of modern life. The fascinating evolutionary story of the pineal gland offers valuable clues about its role in this mystery. In certain reptiles, for example, a structure called the parietal eye develops from the same embryonic tissue as the pineal gland. This so-called third eye is a fully formed organ, complete with cornea, lens, and retina, and it connects directly to the brain, capable of sensing light in a way that surpasses ordinary vision. While humans don't have a physical third eye, our pineal gland retains photosensitive properties, an evolutionary remnant suggesting this ancient brain structure may still hold functions related to perceiving energetic phenomena beyond visible light. And it doesn't stop there. Recent research on biophotons, tiny particles of light emitted by the body, shows striking correlations with traditional descriptions of energy fields. Studies reveal that meditation, for instance, doesn't just reduce the overall intensity of these emissions, it increases their coherence. This suggests that meditative states create a more harmonious and balanced energy field, exactly what ancient practices have claimed for centuries. On the other hand, when the body is unwell, biophoton emissions tend to become chaotic, while healing appears to coincide with a return to coherent, stable, and organized patterns. So the question becomes, if we learn to understand and develop this sensitivity, could we not only perceive this invisible energy, but also influence our own state of health and consciousness? If this invisible universe has sparked your interest, keep exploring, questioning, and practicing. The power to expand your perception is within reach, and science is increasingly opening doors for you to see what was once unseen. These discoveries line up surprisingly well with traditional descriptions, which speak of shifts in energy fields depending on states of health and levels of consciousness. Yet critics inevitably argue that many of these claims about energy perception lack rigorous scientific validation. To them, what seems like genuine perception might actually be nothing more than expectation, suggestion, or imagination. These critiques deserve serious consideration, because the human mind is a master at detecting patterns and assigning meaning, even when there's none to be found. Confirmation bias leads us to notice and remember only the things that reinforce our existing beliefs, while we tend to dismiss anything that contradicts them. But is it really fair to dismiss all accounts of energy perception as mere delusion or wishful thinking? Doing so would mean ignoring substantial evidence, such as the consistent correlation between instrumental measurements and subjective reports in controlled studies, the remarkably similar descriptions of these energy fields across distinct and isolated cultures, the measurable effects of specific practices known to influence energetic states, and perhaps most compelling, the growing body of peer-reviewed scientific research on biophotons. A truly scientific approach demands that all evidence be considered, not just the kind that fits neatly into pre-existing materialist paradigms. Here's a challenge for the skeptics. If energy fields are nothing but fantasy, why are so many medical institutions around the world now integrating energy-based treatments? Electromagnetic therapies to accelerate bone healing are already standard practice in hospitals, and transcranial magnetic stimulation has proven to be an effective treatment for drug-resistant depression. These medical advances offer concrete clues that even mainstream science is beginning to recognize the human energy field, not as some wild theory, but as a proven and applied reality. Even traditional practices like acupuncture have shown verified effectiveness beyond placebo in numerous scientific studies. These approaches work directly on the human energy field, the very same field some individuals have learned to perceive consciously and intentionally. The electromagnetic sensitivity hypothesis suggests that certain individuals may have a naturally heightened sensitivity to subtle fluctuations in electromagnetic fields, possibly due to innate neural specialization. This enhanced perception might operate similarly to how some people are born with perfect pitch or an extraordinary ability to distinguish subtle variations in color. Some researchers believe this may involve mechanisms similar to synesthesia, a condition in which the senses cross over, allowing electromagnetic input to be processed visually. Or perhaps this sensitivity results from the ability to pick up frequencies beyond the normal sensory spectrum, enabling certain individuals to detect subtle variations that go unnoticed by most. Another intriguing theoretical model comes from quantum physics, the observer effect. We know that in quantum mechanics, the very act of observation alters the quantum state of the observed system. Could energy perception be a form of direct quantum observation? Perhaps non-local consciousness, operating beyond the physical brain, is capable of sensing these energetic phenomena on a quantum level. Quantum entanglement between the observer and the observed might allow for the direct perception of subtle patterns that escape normal vision. Although still speculative, these models open up fascinating pathways to understanding how inner vision might actually work. So then, what prevents most people from developing this sensitivity? The answer may lie in modern lifestyle. The constant bombardment of sensory input conditions us to ignore subtle impressions. Artificial lighting disrupts the natural function of the pineal gland. Digital technology creates electromagnetic noise that drowns out the body's natural energy fields, and exposure to certain chemicals can calcify the pineal gland, impairing its function. These combined factors dramatically reduce our innate sensitivity to the subtle energies that surround us. The journey to reclaim this ability begins with a simple step: acknowledging that it's possible. From there, it's about developing renewed attention to the delicate impressions we usually dismiss as imagination or fantasy. With consistent practice, these impressions grow clearer, revealing patterns and information about a world hidden from ordinary perception. Those who develop this ability often describe a profound shift in how they experience reality. Not as if they're adding something new, but as if they're removing a filter that had always blocked a broader awareness, and the benefits go far beyond just perceiving energy fields. Intuition becomes sharper, allowing for clearer decision-making in complex situations. Heightened sensitivity to others' emotional states deepens relationships and improves communication. Awareness of one's own energetic patterns increases self-knowledge and strengthens emotional regulation. These side benefits often prove to be more valuable than the ability to sense energy itself. Sometimes I wonder if our modern devices are, in a way, prosthetics for lost perceptual abilities. We created instruments to measure electromagnetic fields. Because we forgot how to feel them directly, we developed communication technologies. Because we lost awareness of the subtle connections that once existed between minds, our ancestors navigated by the stars and sensed weather changes. By maintaining perceptive skills we've since traded for the convenience of modern life. The environment we live in has a profound impact on our ability to develop energetic perception. Natural surroundings, far from the electromagnetic pollution of urban areas, offer the ideal conditions to awaken this dormant sensitivity. Dawn and dusk are particularly special times. The shifting light, the emerging contrasts, everything creates a perfect setting for subtle fields to become more perceptible, especially for those just beginning this journey. Natural light, which spans the full spectrum, supports the pineal gland's function far more effectively than artificial lighting, enhancing its ability to sense subtle, mysterious energies. One fascinating aspect of energy perception is the consistency reported by those who develop it. People living in distant parts of the world, with no contact between them, often describe the same energetic patterns in similar situations. Whether someone is in deep meditation in New York, Tokyo, or Nairobi, their energy field exhibits recognizable signatures. Intense, universal emotions leave energetic imprints that transcend culture and language. This consistency suggests something remarkable. These perceptions reflect real, objective patterns, not just cultural constructs or personal interpretations. Developing this sensitivity isn't an instant process. Unlike physical skills, which offer immediate feedback, progress in energetic perception is subtle and gradual. Often, practitioners only notice their improvement when they suddenly start recognizing patterns that once went unnoticed. This slow pace explains why so many give up before experiencing the rewards of awakening. But for those who persist, those moments of clarity are transformational. Perception opens up, and a previously hidden world reveals itself in astonishing detail. Just imagine how your life would change if you could directly perceive the emotional states of the people around you. How would that transform your interactions? What if you could actually see the energetic effects of your words and actions on others? What choices might you make differently if you could feel the impact that food, environments, and activities have on your own energy field? These possibilities make energy perception much more than a mere curiosity. It becomes a practical and powerful tool for well-being and connection. Modern science continues to unravel these mysteries. Advanced equipment, like superconducting quantum interference devices, the well-known SQUIDs, can measure human biomagnetism with incredible precision. They reveal specific electromagnetic patterns that correspond to physiological and psychological states within the body. New technologies now allow us to non-invasively track the brain's dynamic electromagnetic field. These measurements confirm what energetically sensitive individuals have long known. Our bodies emit complex electromagnetic signatures that shift with our internal state. Now consider this. What if sensing energy isn't some extraordinary ability, but rather a natural human state? What if, over time, we lost that sensitivity, living with narrowed perception, while our ancestors operated within a broader consciousness? From that perspective, developing energetic perception isn't about gaining something new. It's about remembering something forgotten, restoring a wholeness to human awareness that was always meant to be ours. The merging of ancient wisdom with modern science provides a powerful framework to understand human energy fields and our potential to perceive them. Ancient practices for cultivating inner vision, often dismissed or misunderstood, are now surprisingly aligned with what contemporary science reveals about our electromagnetic nature. By integrating these two perspectives, we open doors to a deeper understanding of human perception, a capacity that still lies far beyond what most people imagine. The field of energy perception sits right at this fascinating intersection between cutting-edge research and timeless tradition. And while science continues its investigations, you don't have to wait for all the answers to begin your own exploration. The path to expanded awareness begins with a simple choice: to pay attention to what you've been conditioned to ignore, those subtle impressions that don't come through your 5 physical senses, but arise from within, from that remarkable pineal gland nestled deep at the center of your brain. So I leave you with this reflection. What might you discover about yourself and the world if you allowed yourself to develop a perception beyond the ordinary? The universe is far more vast than what your physical senses can detect. The electromagnetic spectrum stretches far beyond visible light, and your perception can reach far beyond conventional boundaries. The question isn't if these expanded abilities exist, it's whether you will choose to develop them. Now, as we reach the end of this revealing expedition, I want to express my deepest gratitude to you for staying with us until the end. Your dedication and curiosity are the fuel that drives us to explore, demystify, and share these intriguing stories. I want to share something special with you. As a fan of the Map of Higher Self channel, you are about to embark on a unique journey of self-discovery and mental formation. I present to you the Map of Higher Self, a revolutionary ebook that will redefine your mental reality. As the creator of this content and leader of the Map of Higher Self channel, I'm sharing my deepest experiences and valuable lessons with you. Each chapter of this ebook is a reflection of my journey, filled with practical lessons I've lived and transformed into wisdom. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your life. Click the link in the pinned comment and start your journey towards self-knowledge and positivity today. Imagine yourself for a moment as one of the ancient explorers who ventured into unknown territories, guided only by the flame of curiosity and the thirst for knowledge. Every piece of information, every symbol deciphered, is like a map leading us deeper into the labyrinth of the unknown. And just like those explorers, you too are now a little closer to the truth, carrying with you a new understanding of the forces that shape our world. Your presence here is not just a personal achievement, but a valuable contribution to a vibrant community of curious and knowledge-seeking individuals. Every view, every comment, every like is a step we take together toward a deeper and collective understanding. You are not just a spectator, you are a partner in this journey of discovery. So, as we close this chapter, I invite you to reflect on today's revelations and prepare for the next steps. We will continue unraveling secrets, questioning established truths, and exploring the mysteries around us. Your participation is essential, not just for the growth of this channel, but for the expansion of our horizon of knowledge. Until the next discovery. And remember, the real power lies in questioning and understanding what is beyond the visible. And before you go, don't miss these 2 videos I've selected especially for you. They're packed with deep knowledge and fascinating discoveries that you'll love. Click on one of them and continue your journey of self-discovery and the pursuit of wisdom with the amazing content our channel has to offer.